Hey guys, we're already on. Forgive us because we're in this. Yep, we are there. There we are, ladies and gentlemen.
We are.
We are here.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the party.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome to the party.
Where did you
See?
find that?
We have no mic.
Is it plugged in?
It is plugged in. We have. Oh, wait a minute.
Turn the thing. Yeah.
My volume may not be up. No, my volume is on.
The VMix.
Oh, okay, okay. But you should hear it on yours.
I don't even see it. I asked you where you got that from.
Videos
Videos. Okay.
live.
Got it. Got it.
See
Got
if
it.
it makes any noise.
Let me see.
Testing
I have
1,
no
2, 3,
sound.
and I have no sound.
There we go.
in there.
Yep. There it goes.
Are you quiet? See how loud it gets.
Okay.
Oh, okay, guys. Listen. We
are working out the bugs.
we
here.
are working out the bugs. Yep, we got it. We got it. We got it. We got it.
We are working out.
We got it. We got it, ladies and gentlemen. And
Hey,
so
y'all.
here's what we're going to do for you.
All right. So we're doing a Q&A tonight?
Yeah, we're doing
We're doing a Q&A? Okay.
We're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to
Alright.
do a Q&A. So there you go.
Got
You
it.
can see it, but
Yes.
it's okay. All right, so this is live. This is recorded. We are on live. We are on doing our thing in this little camera thing.
Yes.
And I don't know.
Forgive us because we're going to keep looking down.
We're going to keep looking down because
Yeah.
this is okay. So let's break this down. Computer here. When your questions are asked, they're going to come over here. She can do the questions. When they're not asking, I can see the questions over here.
Right.
So it is set, and I don't know if we have the comment set up, or not.
Let us
So
see.
anyway, I'm going to do two things. Number one, I'm going to do. I promised the people that I would do this so that they can know that we're here. So I'm going to do two things. We're going to do this. We're going to do this and do this. Oh, the turbine is on, so we're cool.
Yes.
We're going to do
The
this
AC came in.
and we're going to do this. Okay, so we're here. Now, for those of you that have been a part of everything that I do on TikTok, on Instagram, on everything, ladies and gentlemen, this is my wife.
Hi.
This is Kendra. This is the person that makes everything that I do great. So, welcome her in. We were going to answer questions. We kind of got some questions in, and we didn't get all the questions we wanted to get in, but we got questions in anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, go to the heart over there,
Mm-hmm.
and go to my channel at the top. All right, and hit that.
Okay.
And let's see if we do not have the comment. Chat is disabled for this stream. Okay. So we have a very interesting thing. So for those of you that are here, we're on youtube.com/art2connecting. Yes, art2connecting. Art2connecting.
It's actually William Dallas.
On the email. It goes by the email.
Okay.
It goes by the email.
Okay.
Okay, so it's youtube.com/art2connecting. So what's going on? Meet me at YouTube. We're gonna do our question and answer. I'm gonna do this. So here's what we're gonna start with. A lot of you, I tell you about the fact that we are love at first sight.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife is in the background. She likes to stay in the background for a whole lot of different reasons. Even though we love to hear her talk. So
That was a shot at me.
that was a
In
deep
case
shot.
you didn't catch that
Yeah,
one.
yes, that was
That's
a
how he
shot at
throws
her.
punches.
That was a shot at her. So I'm going to put this down here, but I want her to start by telling us how she saw our relationship. And then we're going to go from there.
How I saw it?
How you saw from the love at first sight thing. What was your view?
Okay, well, so
Mm-hmm.
I had never experienced love at first sight.
No, let's start this
So-
way. How did you get to love at first sight? Were you hunting for a husband? Were you looking for a husband? Were you?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a loaded question.
And you don't have to get deep into it. Just kind of touch it. Just touch it.
I had I desired a husband. I wanted to be married. I wanted to be a wife. I wanted to have a family.
That's good.
So that's the avenue that I was on.
That's part of it. We don't want to go too deep. We don't want to scare
I had
people.
gotten to a point where that thought of finding a husband had started to consume my every movement, my every thought. Everything that I did was geared around, is he the one? Is he the one? Is he the one? And I got to the point I was making myself crazy. And so one day I did a purge. I went into my prayer closet. I got down, me and God. I said, listen, I don't want to be this crazed person anymore. This is draining me. I'm tired. And so now it is me and you, and use me as you will. And then 3 months later-ish is when we met. So it wasn't a long time after I dedicated my attention and time back to the Lord that we met.
I have
we having some difficulties?
I'm having difficulties. Oh, I know why I'm having difficulties.
What's up?
Because I need to close that.
Okay.
That should help some of the difficulties.
All right. How do we
I
get the
had two
chat
things.
on for this?
We have to go back into it and get the chat on.
Okay.
That should help the difficulties. Are we
Okay.
moving crazy now? Yeah, that helped the difficulties.
All
Okay,
right.
guys.
And so then
Art 2 connecting on the link that I just sent you, that YouTube link. You see me? Oh, good. I'm going to work on the link while she's talking. We can't ask questions there, so I don't know what to tell you. We tried to ask questions.
well,
There
here's
she
what
is.
we could
There she
do.
is. Say hi, everybody.
Hi
There.
guys.
Hi, everybody.
We could
Okay.
turn it off and come back.
No.
No?
That is a pain in both parts of my behind.
Okay.
So,
you got more than one part.
Yes, I got a left side and a right
A
side.
left and a right.
Really?
Left
Just
and
one
right
side on your
switch.
butt? You just
Left
your
and
butt?
right switch.
Yeah. It's just only a right. Really? Like now? Like this is where we are right now. Yeah, this is where we are right
So
now.
to continue with my version of events, when I met him, I wasn't in the mode of searching or, desiring to find a husband. I was at a liturgical dance conference and I was there to dance. And happened upon this
Happened
man.
upon me.
Happened upon.
Happened
yes.
upon me. I'm not going to work with that. I'm not going to mess with that right now. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, ask your questions there. Go to YouTube, watch the YouTube questions. And if you have any questions, we'll catch them here. But we are on YouTube. We are on YouTube. On Art 2 Connecting. You see that? Look at my picture and you see my picture right there. YouTube.com Art 2 Connecting. We are here to answer questions. But because I didn't do the chat like I needed to do the chat, we can't answer the questions. So we're going to just talk. So, so here's my side of it. I had gotten to a point where I didn't want to be in a relationship. I just kind of wanted to just do what I do. And in the process of doing what I do, I go to this dance conference, and when she walks in the room, as you can see, she's very beautiful. She's a lot more beautiful now than she was then.
Thank you.
Why? Because she's matured into her beauty. So I meet this young lady, and I'm like, oh my God, I am so in love. And in my brain, I'm thinking, I am going to marry her. I'm thinking
did.
that. I'm thinking
did.
I'm going to marry her. Now, because I'm such a cool, smooth dude, my first 2 attempts faltered majorly.
Terribly.
It wasn't terrible.
Terribly.
It wasn't terrible.
It was terrible.
It was bad. And so
It was pitiful.
in that process of it, I began to realize that what was happening, because if I can put God in here, what was happening was God was showing me that it wasn't about my smooth, slick, cool person. That
Right.
person was not the person that was going to marry Kendra.
Right. And it wasn't the person that I was going to respond to anyway.
And the funny thing was, she wouldn't have said a word to me if I was that person.
Right.
Why? Because there's a spiritual part of that. And so within the spiritual part of that, that's what she was doing. She was actually being who God wanted her to be for me.
That's good.
We talked, we
That's
connected,
really-
we did all the things that we needed to do. And then in the process of it, we figured out that we were going to get married. So we got married. Now, what was Bible about that? What was the spiritual part of it?
As the phone
Phone
slides,
slides.
across
When we
the
say
table.
spiritual, and the phone just slides all over the place. What was the spiritual part about that?
So, I don't know how many of you have heard me give part of this testimony before, but our spirits connected. I could feel, for lack of a better description, it was like a little kid jumping around inside my stomach. That's what it felt like to me when he was in the room, when he
I didn't
came
know.
into my presence.
I didn't know
It
this.
was like my spirit was just happy.
I didn't know this.
I knew the sound of his voice. I knew when he was around. I knew his
I need a
presence.
time out. Now you treat me like a stepchild. You was loving me. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. Continue story.
No,
Continue
that's
story.
it. I'm done
Continue
talking.
story.
I'm done talking. See, this is why I don't
my
talk.
God.
This is why I don't talk.
Oh my God. No, I deserve that. I deserve to know that. I
Okay.
deserve to know that. So, and let me stop again. We got to give a station identification for those people that come on. We're Kendra and William Dallas, or William and Kendra Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
We are the founders of the Art to Connection. We are authors. We are speakers. We are coaches. We do coach relationships. And today we wanted to answer questions. However, the way the system was set up, we were not able to
We
do it
did
because
not
of
get
that.
to.
But so we're going to touch on some of the issues that you might have seen on TikTok, and one of the things that caused us to go viral. One of the things was this big deal about should a woman, is the Bible command a man to love a woman? How do you feel about that? There you go. That's what we want. That right there. We're looking for that right there.
We have gotten so many questions
Oh my
in
God.
reference to how do I feel about that.
Oh my God.
So,
Oh my God.
we're just going to go ahead and dive right into that. So, going back, reading through the passage, and I'm paraphrasing, if you read through that whole chapter, it talks about the various forms of relationship between a husband and wife. And basically, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Women are to reverence their husbands. And so we were having a discussion about that, and right, my husband and I were having a discussion about that. And I said, nowadays love is such a
Oh yeah, that was a good line. That was a good line.
watered down version of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You love your car, you love your dog, you love your house, you love your neighbor, you love co-workers, everything is, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. And so as I understand it and as I perceive it, reverence is a greater form of love than the word love.
Wow.
To be in love with someone doesn't make a relationship work. Love does not always sustain the relationship. To honor the man that he is, to get behind and support the vision that is for the household, to do your part to make sure that whatever the vision is, wherever the two of you are going, gets there and comes to fruition, that you're the birthing person for the vision. That is a reverence. And love is inherent in a woman. We can't help but love. That's what we were made of. We were made out of love. And so we're going to naturally fall in love and give the best parts of us, but to reverence the person that you're with. Listen, if you are in a position and you're dating someone, oh, but I love him. You love the way he pulls your hair. You love the way he cooks. You love the way he cleans the dishes.
Did you say pull your hair?
This is grown folk talk.
How we know? We don't know
It's
if they're grown
folk.
people.
So that only lasts a short period of time. If he is not taking care of home, if he's not paying the bills, if he doesn't treat you right outside of the bedroom, if he's doing all these various things, then there's no respect there. There's no reverence for him as a man. So for me, the reverence part of it holds more weight. The love comes with it, but the reverence holds more weight.
That is, and when she said that thing kind of messed me up because, and though I've been teaching this stuff for a long time, when she said that to me, it was almost like, okay, that's what makes sense. Mm-hmm. That makes sense because when you see the fear of God, you don't see the terror of God. You see the respect of His position.
Right.
And so when you understand the respect of His position, then you understand that what He's doing to you is not saying I don't love you. It's saying that this is my position,
right.
and if you help that position. But it also says what she's also saying that just really messed me up. And because now here's the funny thing. I'm thinking love is the most, and this is me teaching. I'm thinking love is this powerful thing.
It is a powerful thing.
And when she said that, she goes, but that reverence is different. And it gives it's more of a connection and more a diversity of connection. Because love is, I love you.
For the next 15 minutes.
Right.
You know.
But the reverence to this thing is, I honor your position. And here's the key. I honor your position. I want to help you in your position, but I don't want to pacify your position. I know. I don't want to pacify your position. You follow me? So if she says, and she said that, she said taking care of the household. If she says, if I tell Kendra I'm going to rake the leaves, and she goes, oh, she reverences the fact that we rake the leaves, and I'm asleep, and I'm supposed to rake the leaves. Her saying, hey baby, I thought you were going to rake the leaves, doesn't take away from the love, but it does establish the reverence. Why? Because I trust
that you're going to do what you say.
That you're going to do what you say you're going to do.
Right.
And a whole lot of relationships are messed up because they look at the relationship as a love relationship.
Right. Right. It's a mutual working.
It's a position. It's
that you have to work at it.
All
you got to
it.
do that together.
It's a position of
love
each working.
Love is a wonderful, wonderful feeling, and it's an emotion.
Oh my God!
It's an emotion
glorious.
that
it's wonderful.
Take you on a high and low. We all of those have been in love and then been out of love. We understand that that is a powerful, powerful emotion.
You know, Pookie. When I was in high school, Pookie was my. You look at the Pookie down like, wow.
Right.
What was I thinking?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
And so that's the point where we find ourselves when it comes to love. So when you say the scripture, God doesn't command the woman to love the man. It's not saying that you don't love. It's saying understanding the position holds a lot more weight than saying I have given you a feeling that makes you understand how I'm committed to you. Because that's all love does. Mm-hmm. When you say I'm getting married, you say that's all love does. And so this is love. Kendra is scripted.
And in your vows, honor, respect, and cherish. To love, honor, respect, and cherish.
If you want to dig and look around, you don't have to now because we got it up here. So if you want to do, you know what you do. You know you do your thing.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
To love, honor, respect, and cherish. Just some traditional vows, because nowadays people write their own vows. They make their own meanings and things according to their relationship, but that reverence is in there. That's what those vows mean. The four: love, respect, cherish, honor. That all is a form of reverence.
I find that a lot of times when I start dealing with relationship, I think that becomes a big challenge. The challenge becomes you want him to love you and you want her to love you, and the reverence is not there. Not to mention position. For example, my wife doesn't cook. My wife can cook. She doesn't cook.
That's not the truth.
Please.
Who makes breakfast?
Did you make breakfast in the morning?
No, who makes breakfast?
You make breakfast. Can I make breakfast?
Cooking. That is
Do
cooking.
I make breakfast?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I
Did
make
you make
dinner?
breakfast? No, you can't.
I make dinner? Oh,
no,
I can't.
You make lamb
oh.
and steak.
That's not dinner?
And no, lamb and steak is not. That's just meat.
I didn't know.
Okay, see, so
I didn't know.
But she never let me finish.
Go ahead.
My wife doesn't cook all the time. I do most of the cooking.
That is true.
I don't clean all the time.
That is true.
She does most of the cleaning. Now, here's the deal. In the tradition of marriage, that's wrong. She's supposed to be cooking. I'm supposed to be cleaning, doing that kind of stuff. Or she's supposed to cook and clean, and I'm supposed to be outside doing something else. But it's not about traditional positions in the relationship. The only position, pull up Genesis, the first chapter. The only position that we have is the position of where we are to be effective enough to go from where we are to where God has called us to be. A lot of you are in the position where you're not where God called you to be because you're trying to be lovey instead of figuring out the structure necessary for both of you to get to where God wants you to be. That's the thing.
Like
And
King James?
yes, that's the thing. So when I made that statement and said, God never commanded a woman to love a man, I wasn't saying you don't love him. I was saying understand the interpretation. Respect is love to a man. You can come up to a man like, hey, baby, you can do all those kind of things to show him love. And he look at you like, thank you. I appreciate that. And we'll put on that whole thing when it comes to that. So if you look at Genesis, the 1st chapter and the 26th verse. Now, if you look at Genesis, the 1st chapter and the 26th verse. Now, what is he's going to go down to that? I want to show you something here. I'm going to show you guys something. Because a lot of us are still in the position where we don't really understand what God is saying to us pertaining to that process.
And a woman like a man.
Okay, I'm going to give you this in a second.
Okay.
For those of you that are on each of the platforms, if you're on Instagram, put your questions in the box.
So
if you're on TikTok,
we're gonna
put your
go
questions
through
on the box.
Genesis 1:26, and then we're gonna answer the questions that are rolling through.
Okay.
So Genesis 1:26 says, "And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth."
So, just straightforward. Image is man, likeness is God. Now, I can go deep into that. We can go all the way through Genesis and explain that. But simply take that right now and go study Genesis the rest of the thing. Now, why is the image? The image is everything that God is an example of. Mm-hmm. So, what did he do with Adam? He put Adam in the garden. He was an example. God created a garden. God was God over that garden. Adam was God over the garden. Adam was the God over the garden he gave him.
Over the garden.
God over the garden he gave him.
Okay.
Now, that means that the animals and everything responded to God's image. That's why Adam had to be in the garden. He didn't just speak to the garden. He had to be in the garden. That's the image. So when God was everything that God was, that's who Adam was in the image. Mm-hmm. But the likeness of God is his love, his concern, all those things. He put that in woman. Follow me here. Animals were made from the dirt. Adam was made from the dirt. What was woman made from?
The rib cage.
She was made from Adam. So
Adam.
when all them preachers going, from dirt we came and from dirt we return. No. No. She didn't come from dirt. Remember way back, they used to say men and boys are snakes and snails and puppy dog tails. And they said women are sugar and spice and everything and nice. Mm-hmm. Everything that a woman is what God is the wonder of God. Everything that a woman is the wonder of God. Everything. So that means that his life is a life of structure. You gonna take that?
Yes.
Okay. So he's gonna try to catch some of your questions through TikTok.
Hey y'all. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the questions while he's answering that question.
What's the challenge? The challenge is if you pull him out of the position of structure, which means example, and you pull her out of the position of wonder, which means greatness of God, you then separate the power of God. You guys are the most powerful force on this planet. A married couple, a couple that connects, is the most powerful force on this planet. That's why there's so much attack to it. What's your question?
Okay, our first question is, how do you think a man feels being second to God?
Okay, some of you don't have to read.
That was the question.
Kind of sift through them. So, somebody on the TikTok said, because watch them. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
How do you think a man feels second to God? First of all, a true man of God does not feel second to God.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh no, they can hear it. No, YouTube. That's why I told them to go to YouTube. You don't have to angle it. Just read it. First of all, a true man of God doesn't feel second to God. He doesn't. If you don't have a structure and something to set a structure, you're not going to go anywhere. The key to anybody that makes even that comment, to make that kind of comment, how does a man feel second to God? A man doesn't feel anything second to God. It's like, how does a man feel like he can't outrun a car? We don't think about that. True men don't think about that in the comparison of something that's power over less power. Why would you think something like that?
Okay.
Now, if you are a person, you got another one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Go finish.
If you are a person that is comparing yourself to the power of God, go to the second chapter of Philippians when Jesus said, let this mind be in you that was in Christ Jesus, who being in the form of God thought it not robbery to be equal to God. Not equal with God. Not equal to God, equal with God. Which means you guys are in correlated power together. So I'm not less than God. All I have is the access to God, and I access that power. That's Adam did. Okay.
Okay. How can a woman make a man emotionally attached to her, not in a manipulative way?
Impossible. What do you think?
I agree.
Impossible. Why would you want that?
Not that it's impossible, and I want to maybe say men are just, most men are not hypersensitive emotional beings.
That is a way to put that. That's
in the way that women deal with
Exactly.
emotions.
Exactly.
So a man does get emotional about certain things.
Right. Right.
But they do not digest the feelings the way that we do.
That's a good way
We
to put it.
internalize things. We internalize when a hurt happens. We internalize when frustration comes. A man looks at that thing as a task, deals with the task, and moves on. We will hold on to it because we're incubators. We take things and we nurture them and we rebirth them. Essentially, we're incubators.
Right.
So a woman's emotional state and a man's emotional state will
Always be
9
different.
times out of 10.
Always.
Well, yeah, they'll
They'll
always be different.
They'll always be different.
The hurt will be there, but the dealing with the hurt is always going to be different.
And to kind of piggyback on top of that, as a man, to attach me to you emotionally, in any way you put it, is going to be manipulation. Now, not a bad manipulation, but it's manipulation
Okay,
because you're
so-
trying to make me attached to you.
I understand the question a little better.
Okay. There's more to the question.
Well, someone else answered part of the question. They said, I don't think you can. A man knows very early if he wants to connect to you. So emotionally connect.
What does that say? That's what you're trying to say?
No.
Have you answered those two? Okay. Those
Not
are in
yet.
those are in the question box.
Okay.
All right.
So to emotionally attach to her is what she was saying.
Okay. So, and let me say this: we know. Okay, y'all trying to take this deep. How you present yourself. Now, remember, a man is a visual. Visual. He's visual. He's visual and he's logical. Mm-hmm. How you present yourself to a man gives that man a feeling of what he wants from you. Mm-hmm. If you present yourself as a hoe, he's gonna want sex from you initially. Now, if you give him the opportunity to know you, that's going to change. He's not emotion. Man is visual, then mental, then spiritual. That's how man is. He's visual, then mental, then spiritual. All right? So a woman is visual, emotional, then spiritual. So a woman will see something, emotions will attach to it, then spiritual will attach to it. We are visual, mental, then spiritual. Which should be spiritual backwards. It should be backwards, but it's not. So for you to attach to me, if you really want to attach to me, you show me your you show me your physical, and then mentally find out where I am, because that's where all my emotions are held in and how I feel in my task.
Okay, good answer.
Thank you.
Yes. So how do you answer the question that comes from a man? What do you bring to the table? She wants to know, what are they expecting?
Listen, who is that? Find out who that person is.
Okay, Miss D. Rice.
Okay, that's Miss D. Rice. Miss D. Rice. Are you on YouTube? Find out. Are you on YouTube? You need to be on YouTube. Okay, so first of all, what do you bring to the table?
That is a
It's a
That
good
is-
question, because
that is
most
a
women
loaded-
don't know.
That is a loaded question.
Right.
What do I bring to the table? I bring your balance. I bring your stability. I bring your conscience, and I bring your motivation to the table.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. Let me explain something to you ladies. Bringing money to the table, bringing children to the table, bringing responsibility to the table,
Right.
all those things mean absolutely nothing to a man. Oh, no, babe. I told
I'm
you this.
good. Yeah,
No.
that was the last question.
No. That's it for them? That means nothing to a
yes.
man. So, just sit right there. They need to hear it, because we can't keep them watching because they don't see you, they don't see me. Okay, that does nothing for a man. Go to YouTube, guys, and you can follow us, because that way I don't
Are there any
see if
questions
anything.
here?
She's checking Instagram. that means nothing to a man. When you bring something to a man, hear me, ladies, hear me, please, please hear me. When you bring something to a man that compares to what man is trying to bring to you, you disqualify him. You follow me? For a real man. Now we have to realize a lot of you guys are dealing with boys, and boys are like my grandson Kai. Kai wants to watch TV while he eats his dinner. That doesn't happen in Pop-Pop house. That doesn't happen in Grandma house. So when he doesn't get what he wants, what does he do?
He cries.
He pouts.
He has a fit.
Pouts.
He sits on the floor. He wants sympathy.
A real man wants to bring something to you that gives reverence to his position.
Right.
If you put him in a position where you're pressuring what you want him to do, I got a house, pay for my house. I got this. Now, he'll tell you a little story. When we moved into where Kendra was. Military, where she was. We moved where she was. Kendra said, this is what goes on. This is this. What you say goes. Now,
right.
While we're in that position, what you say goes. But I'm going to tell you something. No matter who you are, a man is thinking to himself, she's going to wake up one day and go, this is my house. Get your junk. Get out. That's how we think. But we now have a place that I have. This is my place.
This is
we will never. Yeah, okay. We will never. She will never get the position of get out of my house. Why? She's my balance. Mm-hmm. Now, if she wants to up and leave, I'm not gonna let her. No, if she wants to up and leave, that's a horse of a different color. But I'm her balance. Oh, she's my balance. Right. So what you bring to the table is a structure that empowers him to do what he's called to do. A structure
that's good.
That empowers him to do what he's called to do. Yeah, you need to stay on that one. This one, nobody really answered the questions over here.
Okay.
Okay, so.
All right. So I hope that answers the question.
I hope that does too.
How do you completely express yourself to your partner without looking weak?
Is that a man or a woman?
That is,
and the question is, how do you completely express yourself to your partner without looking weak?
It says John.
John, hold on for a second. Hey guys, Instagram, please hit the box so she doesn't have to read this. Put your questions in the box so we can go there. Make sure, or meet us at, well, you still got to answer the question. Put your questions in the box so she can see it. Now, I'm going to take into consideration, I'm going to do it on both sides. I do it on both sides. Side number one. If you're in a relationship and you're afraid of looking weak, that's a personal thing.
It is the thought of you feeling weak is a response to a past experience. So
what she said.
Really, when we delve into these relationships, I see people jump from one to another to another to another, and they've never taken the time to analyze what went wrong in that very first relationship, what could have been done right, how much of it was your fault and how much of it was outside influences. And so when you do that, you continue to pick up baggage and responses and reactions to what someone else did to you. Mm-hmm. And so our makeup, for example, we both had dealings with child support, and we had different perspectives and obviously different stances on the child support issue.
Correct.
And so when we brought it to the table, because we talked about everything when we first got together, it was a point of contention for me. It was a point of anger and frustration. But on his end, it was a point of vulnerability. And so there was hesitation on his part to approach the topic at all, because he already knew how I felt on my end. And so when he brought it to me, I reacted, but my reaction was for the person that owed me child support, and I took it out on him.
And so, let me say this. Okay. Because she's my wife, she's being nice. She didn't take it out on me. Let me tell you what happens to a lot of you guys. You never got to say what you wanted to say to the nigga you wanted to say it to.
Right.
And then somebody says something to you. And guys, you guys got to hear this. You got to really hear this. And then somebody gives you the opportunity to say it. Now, let me tell you, and I'm probably wrong, stop me. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you what could have happened if she could have done. If she could have said, I know how you feel, but this is what brought me to this place, and I want to just get this out of my system.
Right.
Because I realized she wasn't talking to me because we weren't married. I didn't do it.
Right.
And a lot of times, there's two sides. There's major baggage, ladies, you got to get rid of before you get in a relationship. Same thing with men.
And men,
we got to
yep.
get rid of the major baggage. Why? Because the moment you hit that button,
An explosion takes place.
explosion. But the explosion has absolutely nothing to do with you.
Right. After I had my explosion and I had a moment to cool down, I went back and apologized. I knew that everything that I put out had nothing to do with him. It resembled what had happened, right?
Exactly.
There were attributes of things that had happened to me.
Exactly.
And so finding a safe place with your partner, those are things that you guys have to develop. That doesn't happen instantaneously. It does take time to get into that safe place with one another and allow your vulnerability to bring you guys closer together. So be sure that this is the person that you want to share that vulnerability with.
So to look, and the question back to how do you stop and not look weak? You're never not going to look weak. That's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I don't know what she thought before. She doesn't know what I think before. You have to realize that I'm going to take responsibility for this thing because it needs to be said.
Right.
Now, if you have a real problem, we are communications experts. When it comes to communication relationship, I don't know anybody that's better than we are.
Yeah, just slam the door and walk out.
I mean, yeah.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
What? Sorry, I'm out. Because we have done things like wrote each other letters. Mm-hmm. Because we don't want to talk. Because sometimes it's hard to face it. And it may not be the fact I'm mad. It may be the fact that it's just hard for me to have
it's
that
emotional
conversation.
Yeah.
So we write letters. Because we are communicating. That is what we do. But the key becomes, you have to understand, she said something very key. There has to be a safe place to give it. And is this the person that you need to show vulnerability to?
Right. Because
non-committed relationships, you show vulnerability and that person is gone. And now you've laid yourself out. And there's no response to it.
They can't hear up here. That's why I said
I know, but I was trying to get. You know what?
They can't hear. They keep saying a lot of noise, static. They can't hear.
Okay, I got a better idea.
Because you're putting it on the.
Okay. So, next question. You see a question?
Yes.
Maybe a question. She asked a question. I'll be right back.
What are things that make men feel disrespected as well as respected?
Oh my God, you know that's not hard.
So. Men, like my husband said, men are very visual. They're very visual. A matter of respect for a man is when they're talking to you, give them your attention. Look them in the eye. Respond, act engaged. Listen to their ideas. Give them the ability to get their thoughts out. Give them the ability to share with you. Give them constructive criticism, not nagging, In the military, we're always taught if there is something that is incorrect, don't come to me with the problem without a solution.
Exactly.
So if there is something that is not right, always come with a solution. A point of disrespect. What do men feel like when they're disrespected?
A couple things that make a man feel. Now, please, they're two different people, guys. Mm-hmm. We're dealing with men and boys. Mm-hmm. All right? Men and boys. Men want to be heard for the knowledge they have about an issue.
Okay.
They want to be heard. If you come to me, and we have this problem. We literally have this challenge. Why? Because my wife likes to know how to do stuff. And she has been doing it by herself for so long. It's not that she's really disrespecting me. She just knows how to do it. I'll never forget, we're riding down the street. She gonna punch me. We're riding down the street and she said, well, I think that car should be doing like this, this, this. I said, do you know for sure? She goes, no. I said, why did you say it? She said, because I was taught. If you're gonna say it, you're gonna say it like you know it.
Say it with assurance.
And I'm like, why you said it if you don't know it? Because you said it with assurance. Now, I as a guy, my dad taught me the same thing. But I had to realize over the years, I couldn't say things because when things go wrong, but didn't you say? But you have to say it with assurance. So a man wants to be heard for the knowledge he has about the issue. It is not emotional.
Right.
Why? That's the level of our reverence. So when Kendra wants something done, I automatically bring her the solution to it. Now, I research, I look over stuff, I bring a solution. But when you tell a man that you don't reverence what he's bringing to the table, he's going to find somebody else that does. Now, second thing is trying to get him to operate in situations the way you would emotionally. Ladies, hear me very carefully. If a man does something to you, let's say he lies to you, and to get him back, you're going to lie to him. He doesn't feel the same way you do about the lie.
Two wrongs never make it right.
He does
Never.
not feel the same thing.
And then you're mad even
Right, 'cause
worse
now- right.
because you didn't get the response
get the
that
response.
you wanted, and so now you're double mad.
Revenge never works, especially in a married relationship. Revenge never works because how we see a thing and you see a thing is totally different. And I'm gonna use this for an example. I'm talking to a young lady one time, and I don't know, ladies, please help me up with it. Help me out with this, sweetie.
All right.
So a lady comes to me. She said, "I don't understand. If I sleep with 20 men, I'm a hoe. If he sleep with 20 men, he just a stud.
20 women.
I mean, 20. If I sleep with 20 men,
He's something else.
I'm a hoe." Yeah, she said 20 men is something else. 20 men is a whole different ball game. She said, "If I sleep with 20 men, he's a hoe. He sleep with 20 women, he's a stud." And I said, "Why would you want to compare yourself to the lowest form of humanism, and that's just having sex with everybody?"
Right.
But they do that. But you have to realize, for a man, if he doesn't love you, it's like a pickup game of basketball. He plays, goes
he's
on
out.
about his business.
Yep. Game is over, and he
He
goes
gone.
home.
He gonna hang out with his boys. For you, they have to entertain your mind. You entertain our mind, you got us. If you can entertain our mind and our body, oh, we lost. We somewhere sleep, sucking our thumb in the fetal position. But you have to understand, disrespect is not about physical, not loving him, listening to him, talking down to him, treating him like a child, yelling at him every time, nagging every moment of the thing, not respecting what he offers you in his love. Because if you don't understand how he offers love, you're disrespecting it.
True.
My wife came in and she showed me a t-shirt one time, and she showed me the t-shirt, and see, I didn't know my wife liked art. I didn't know this. I mean, I just really found this out because as she got freer, she began to express herself. My wife is very, very creative. So she brought me the t-shirt because I'm a dude. I look at the details of the t-shirt. Blue over green, red over that. And she goes, "Look, baby," she smiles. And I go, "Oh," quietly, she heard me, but quietly I go, "That's a nice t-shirt. But what about," lost it at that moment. Why? Because emotionally she was coming going, "This is my vulnerability. I tried something. I wanted you to see it."
Right.
And I had to learn that. Now, she can come in and I can say this and I do this. I'll write a book and my wife will read through the book in the initial stages because it was all I had. It felt like you're not reading what I say. You're not looking at what I'm saying.
Right. So when he would bring me the book, I automatically thought he wanted me to edit what he brought me. He just wanted me to read what he brought me. And so we had to learn those things about each other.
So I think is that Phoebe right there? What's the name?
Phoebe?
Phoebe.
Some men don't know how to show love.
Phoebe just said some men don't know how to show love. Ladies, guys, please put it. And if I say I knew it. Please put your question there. Phoebe made a comment. She said some men don't know how to show love, and I'll agree with that, 150%. However, there's another side of that. Some women don't know how to receive men's love.
True.
Men's love. Please believe me, guys. There's boys and men. I'm gonna keep saying that
Right.
because some of you are attached to boys. A boy connected to this one wouldn't make it. Just wouldn't make it. He's done. He's gone the first year. Not even the
Not
first
even
year.
the first-
About the first couple days. Why? Because there is a part of a woman that has to understand, and there's a part of a man. Like I said, I need to understand. That was her. I had to shift to pay attention to where she is with the t-shirt. As well as she had to pay attention to the whole child support conversation. You have to pay attention to what's happening in the situation. And that's why we're good when it comes to communication. So men don't know how to show love because a man is a creature of, not creature habit. A man is a man of task oriented. He's
Purpose.
task. You got to show him a task. So for him, if you say love is, and Phoebe, pay attention to this statement. I love it when nobody has ever. You surprise me. I've never felt like this. When you give man those types of statements, he understands that these are issues and places where you desire love, or you desire, for him,
attention,
or desire attention.
My husband and I, so we are about to celebrate our 8th wedding anniversary
is 8th?
next month.
Right.
And just yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I walked in my office and I said, "This is the first time that I've ever." And he's like, "Wow." And then later on that day, he's like, "This is the first time that I've ever." And so allowing your partner to know when they've done something for you that no one else has ever done, whether it simply be giving you a card, giving you a flower, walking by and brushing your hair, whatever, something so simple makes a big difference to the person that you're with, to know that they've done something for you that no one else has ever done.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Because, see, now realize something. We're talking about people that love you and people that love you and people that honor you. We're not talking about just some. A lot of you guys are in these relationships where you're just in a casual relationship. Crazy. You're just in a casual relationship. You met him and you think he can be the one and all these kind of things. This stuff is not committed to them. You can't hold them accountable for giving you love languages. You can't hold them accountable.
Right.
They're not in the commitment yet. They're just there to get what they can. And they don't deserve, I'm going to tell you guys a story. They don't deserve the greatness of you. I'm talking to, when we get married, when I first meet, are you laughing before I say it?
Yeah,
okay, she's
I'm
already
laughing.
So
we're look down.
Yeah, no, just look down. We're and we're around some. Oh yeah, there's some questions on there. I'm gonna just let you take that. Why didn't I have that on your side in the first place?
Sorry,
We're
guys.
having a conversation. No, I'm having a conversation with the people, our friends around her, men and women that are around my wife, and my wife is military, and so. One of the guys says to me, I'll never forget this as long as I live. He says, "Has she ever cussed you out?" I said, "What?" He said, has she cussed you out yet? I'm like, "Has she cussed me out yet?" I said, "What do you mean by that?" He said, "Oh, Kendra's a firecracker. She will go off on you." Now, I don't know for sure that she went off on him. I've not heard anybody say that. He said, "But she's a firecracker. Has she cussed you out?" I go, "No." He said, "She ain't cussed you. Why has she cussed you out?" I said, "Because I earned the right to know the softer side of her.
Right.
I've earned the right. You didn't earn the right. You did not commit to her. So you haven't earned the right to see the softer side." Ladies, don't give committed benefits to non-committed men. Don't give committed benefits to non-committed men. We do that all the time.
Right on that, that's gonna go right into this question. What do you feel about women who say they gave a man everything and he still left? Continue with your statement.
Ladies, don't give non-committed men committed benefits. That's it. Now, I can't speak on every man because some men just don't do it. That's just the way they are. But you have to understand something. If he does not earn the position, he doesn't deserve the position. But let me flip that around. Don't use the position as a way to use a man and get what you want from him. There's a high-end, and I'm going to find this young lady, Instagram person. I might tell my wife to pull it up. There's a high-end Instagram, they call them Insta stars, influencers that married a basketball player, got pregnant by him, then instantly divorced him, and now she's getting, I think, $300,000 a month. And she does not feel guilty about that at all. Now, and has done interviews, doesn't feel guilty. She said she loves the publicity and it's time for women to get theirs. So you break a person's heart to get financially compensated because somebody hurt you back in the day, and now you're going to take it out on this man that apparently loved you enough to be a part of you or to be in your life.
And the one that suffers is the child.
Exactly.
So, but that's a whole nother show.
Thing. So what you say to that is, I apologize for that from men. I apologize as a man for that. But I will say this. Don't start throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Begin to learn, and this is some of the things we're going to start teaching in our classes. Begin to learn how to give information enough to let them come towards you. Ladies, you keep trying to get information so you can get in their presence. You're supposed to be giving information that they can get in your presence.
And I think the topic that we're on covers this as well. What do you do when you feel you found the love of your life, but he's not ready for a relationship? So I think
that's on you, babe. You got that.
Well, it's in the same realm. You don't give committed benefits to somebody that's not committed. Meaning, he wants wife treatment, but you're not his wife. You don't give wife treatment, being there, being the support, being his rock. You don't give those benefits until they have earned those benefits.
Why are you
taking my ring?
What are you doing?
I'm playing.
She's
I fidget.
Fidgeting.
She's
fidgeting.
And
she's
so
fidgeting.
I don't. You guys notice the ring is on different fingers, and so he just stole my ring. But
stole.
Stole.
How stole? I'm married to you. Okay. Committed benefits.
Right. So, if he's not ready to be in a relationship, then you don't continue to put yourself out there. You don't continue to be vulnerable. You don't continue to be available for a relationship that's not ready to be formed.
That's it. And that'll save a whole lot of you
Right.
if you get into that mentality. If you get into the mentality where you go, I can't be in a relationship that doesn't support me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, right now it's a very diluted world we live in, where some people are going, the women are mean and they just taking advantage of the men, and the men are mean and they're taking advantage of the women. You have to start setting a standard. And once you start setting a standard, you have to hold the people around you to that standard. The bottom line is, relationships are spiritual. That's just it. It's not physical, it's not emotional.
When do they know they earned the benefits? When do you know they earned the benefits?
The moment they commit to you and you alone. All attributes that's on your level of comfort. All attributes point towards you. All respect points towards you. All love points towards you. You become the exclusive recipient of who they are.
Right.
Exclusive. Now, it's going to be nerve-wracking for women because you start seeing all these women around him, and if you're not secure in who you are, like this one is, if you're not secure in who you are, you're going to get nervous because you're not going to see him walk in that different direction. But let me tell you something. Physical attraction is only limited for us.
Right.
Being physically attracted is only limited to us. What did you think about that? When did you think he should get the benefits?
After there's a ring.
I was going to say that.
I was
going to say that.
You know, we may have old-fashioned views
But
about
they
some
work.
things,
But they work.
they do work. You know, my husband and I, we were a long-distance relationship. I was in Maryland, he was in Atlanta. We talked on the phone every day for the first 3 months of our relationship. Not just, oh, I missed you too, oh, you look good. No, we had conversations.
Talked.
Okay, so where do we expect to be in 5 years? What is our goal? You know, what things that we in the past that need to be taken care of? You know, what we really talked about: child support, about finances, about houses, cars,
Oh my
money.
God.
We talked about everything as a couple. In respect to how do we blend this so that it's us, not me, not you. So we talked about all of that stuff, and there were no benefits. You got my time, you got my attention, you got my conversation,
And that's beneficial.
and that's it.
See, you don't understand the value of who you are. Because TV, media has made you think that you've been defined by breast, butt, and pretty face.
Right.
So the attention, you don't know how much it means to a man to get your conversation, to get your input, to get so. You think he's just trying to go straight to sex. And in a lot of cases, he may be. But when you understand the value of you have my attention, and you don't have to be arrogant about it, something just this right here. The Proverbs, that's something said Proverbs. You don't have to be arrogant about it, but do you know, let me tell you this. My wife made a comment to me. And so she does a girls trip every year. So guys, ladies, if you want to go on the girls trip, she does a girls trip, and we're doing a women's conference too. But she does a girls trip every year. And in the girls trip, we never do guy trip. She said, you should get together with the guys and do a guy trip. I said, let me explain something to you. First of all, a bunch of us ain't gonna be sitting around being all sensitive to each other like, I don't know why, my. We don't play that. I said, the only thing we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be on some island looking at all the women walking around and hoping they don't say nothing to us because we know we can't really do nothing, but then we look like punks because we can't do nothing. That's the whole thing. Why? The bottom line to the whole thing is, when you understand a man that's committed to you, he doesn't want to go anyplace else. Men do not want, some men are just like that. They've gotten accustomed to the habit of sex and they want to have sex with everything. Most men want a woman that they can love and a woman that helps them get to their destination. A man that doesn't want you to help him get to his destination is a BOY, a CHILD. You don't want a child in your life. You want a man that says, we are going here. If I say, Kendra, peanut butter and
a hut,
we can live in peanut butter and hut. Because why? We know where we're going. Go for it. What's we got?
So there's one here. It says, what's your credit score? LOL. Listen, girlfriend, let me tell you, LOL is not the right.
It ain't even the right way.
What did I do?
So, can I tell the story?
You could tell the story.
So, we get married. Now, remember, we're love at first sight. We never look at each other. I don't know her parents. I don't know her friends. I don't know any of these things. So, one day, we're married when I asked this question, right?
Nope.
Yes, and what about my dad?
Yes, but I told, okay, so
I'm going to go to that one.
We were talking. Okay, go ahead. You tell the
So,
story.
I'm going somewhere and I need to know, my father passed away and we need to know some information about my dad. Now, this is for you single women. And so, I'm looking around, I'm searching through paperwork, searching through paperwork. And I said,
I asked him, I said, what are you doing?
I said, I'm looking for my dad's address. She leaves the room. She comes back maybe 2 minutes
later, I went and grabbed my computer.
She went 2 days. No, she had paperwork.
Oh, did I have a paper?
Yeah, she had paperwork. She did it like this. I'm like, what are you doing? She gave me my father's address. I'm like, how do you know my father's address? Oh, she said, baby, I did a background check on you.
Oh, absolutely.
I said, really? She said, yes.
I'm a single mother with 2 children. I
did a background check on you. Now,
absolutely.
She did a background check on me. So let's go to the credit. I'm gonna give you that. When I met Kendra, my credit was what? 5?
Not talk about
it. Not. It was just. It was. It was
not even worth mentioning.
Bells will go off when they pull my credit. Alarms will go off when they pull my credit. My wife is away, and she says, "We're gonna work on our credit."
I take it from there. So while I was away, that was all I did. I said, you have to do X, Y, Z. I've got this part and this part and this part.
Committed benefits.
Right.
Don't work on his credit so he can go spend some money on somebody
else. What?
Committed benefits. She said. Now back to you.
Right. So I took the time. I did the dedication. It took me about 6 months to get him where he needed to be. And when he hit the score that we were looking for, I was like, bam, that's done. What's next? You know, so we're working together to build this thing. So, but ladies, listen, ladies and men, in today's world, we don't know the things that have happened in people's past. You absolutely do some type of check. You don't just take everything at face value. I let him know. I said, I'm going to investigate you, and he laughed because he thought I was joking.
No, I didn't.
I said it with a straight face. I am going to investigate you. I am a single mother with 2 children, and you're about to come live in our space. I need to know who you are. So I got all of his information, credit scores, friends. I was like, who is this? He's like,
now my credit score is a nice credit score.
It's a beautiful credit score.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
But that benefits us.
Committed benefits.
That benefits my husband. That benefits our marriage. I would not have done that just dating.
Because we're a boyfriend. Listen.
I made that mistake one time. I gave that benefit away to someone, and it came back to bite me. I learned my lesson on that just one time.
Now, is there a way to guarantee that? No, there's not a way to guarantee that. But I promise you, in that process, when you start knowing how valuable a person is, you deal with this a whole different ballgame. Ladies, when you start slowly pulling back the stuff that they're getting valuable, he may leave, then he's not the one, or he's a little boy. You follow me? There are plenty of grown-ass men around. Forgive my French.
Welcome, South Africa.
Welcome, South Africa.
Okay.
There are plenty of grown men around that are doing grown men stuff.
Okay.
and stop dealing with these little boys and then getting mad when they act like little boys. So when you understand that, credit score is important. Why? We got something to do. Investments are important. We got something to do.
Right.
Understanding
we have
money.
a destination.
Understand why? Because you have to understand something. Ladies, you're not attached to somebody you love. You're attached to purpose. Mm-hmm. A woman is attached to purpose. A man is attached to tasks. A woman is attached to purpose. If a man is not on task, you can't commit to him because he's not on purpose. You follow me? So that's where that line comes. Get with him. Be on purpose. Do something on purpose. You attach to purpose. That's why you pack churches out, because you believe the church has a purpose for your life and it gives you an identity. Does that make sense? Any more questions?
I'm trying to live the Proverbs 31 woman life, and it's hard. Without a man.
Without
Any
a man.
ideas?
Yeah, well, first of all, living the Proverbs 31 life is not defined by having a man or not having a man. I'm a big Proverbs 31 dude, but I'm more be a child of God than that. I'm really big into spirituality. I'm teaching that really. I'm really big in trying to get beyond the religion of it and start, what do you want out of this thing? Don't put the direction of a man. She just,
So I'm gonna jump in on that one. Okay,
She
so
did the jump in
the aspects of a Proverbs 31 woman, the things that you can hone in on and fine tune. I'm paraphrasing. She makes clothes. She keeps her house. She has servants. She is an entrepreneur. She is promoting what her husband does. So the things that you need to hone in on is how you take care of your house, how you take care of your personal, how you handle your business. Are you a business owner? Do you have several streams of income? That's what the mindset of a Proverbs 31 woman is. She is a independent with a cause.
I like
Independent with a cause.
Exactly.
And working towards a purpose. You know, it says her husband is known in the city gates because of what she does. So you build those connections, you get prepared, you put yourself in position so that when you do find your husband, boom, you're off and running. You already know what direction that you need to go after you guys sit down and decide what your end goal is. You've already made the connections. You've got your businesses flowing. You've got the finances coming in to support the things that need to happen once you find your husband.
Tell them the shoe story. When your husband comes and shoot,
Yes.
the shoe
So-
things. What I tell them to do, the difference in a broke-minded wife and a rich-minded wife.
Right. So for those that are married, your husband, he has a bad habit of dropping his shoes in the middle of the floor. You walk in, you trip over the shoes. So two mindsets of a wife. One, the wife starts fussing. Why don't you pick up your shoes? Why don't you? Da, 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 da. She just goes off. Mindset of the second wife is, you need to make some more money so we can get a maid to pick up your shoes. So, cute story. Last night, 2 days ago, whatever it was, I walked in, I tripped over a shoe, and he's laying on the couch. I said, you don't have lay on the couch privileges. There still needs somebody to come pick up your shoes. Go to work. So,
Ladies,
that gave him purpose. He was like,
that was
picked up
sexy
his-
to me.
He picked up his shoes and he went back in his office
And started working.
And he started
That's
working.
sexy to me. You follow me? You want to know what's really sexy? Ladies, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a little quick hack. You want to know a hack? Ready for a hack, okay? You know what a great hack is? A woman that's about her business and she's down with taking care of her business. And I don't mean her, her face is I mean a woman that you meet that goes over, she goes, yeah, I'm working on going to school for real estate. I'm working on that. What you do is you meet people in those avenues that you attract. You follow me? Why? Because as a general rule, most men are meeting Insta queens and TikTok queens and all this kind of stuff. And so they get barraged with all this stuff. Guys, we got about 15 more minutes.
Yes.
They get barraged by all this stuff. So
Dunn Tower, I would like for you to DM us for a conversation about that.
is that phobia? Oh, you said.
Please. And I'm sorry for your loss, but yes, please DM us so we can kind of talk to you about that offline.
Okay. So what you have to realize is a woman that's in her business. Now, here's something. Here's a little hack. If you go to a man, let's say you start, ladies, you want me to tell you the number one sexy thing is? Accounting. Study accounting. Study accounting and how to handle the money. Most men know how to do the labor, but they're they don't know all the hacks and the tricks of learn accounting. You will be the sexiest thing on 2 feet. When somebody comes, you say you got a business, you go, well, what's your accounting? What are you doing? Well, I don't know. Well, you know there are about several different things that you can do with that. Right. And don't do it free. Charge him for it. Yep. Oh, we need an accountant right now. We look at an accountant right now.
What you do, you establish your worth. You establish your worth. You are not just a bedfellow. Mm-hmm. You are not just a maid and a servant, a cook, somebody to wash the clothes. You bring knowledge, intellect, purpose, and guidance within your relationship. Make sure they know that. Listen, I'm not some slouch. I've got an education. I know this. I know this. I know this. I can help you or help us get to the next level that we're trying to get to. If that's not what you're seeking, it's so nice to meet you.
Peace. I'm out.
I'm okay. I'm sustained right here because I'm on my grind.
I would rather you learn that than learn how to clean a house, than learn how to cook and learn how to clean. Why? Because a woman that knows how to do that will make money to get somebody to clean the house. We'll make money for somebody to cook. You guys have been reduced to household labor. When your job was never been the labor. So what you have to realize, you want to learn something, ladies? Here's your hack. Learn accounting, learn business structure, learn incorporation stuff. Learn stuff that wealthy people need to move from point A to point B. You'll become sexier than whatever bikini that woman is wearing. Yep. Why? Because people like me hire people like you. But now you got your game together, you dress well, and you can handle business. And y'all can be on video together. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you a story. When we first started doing this, I get about 200 followers. She gets on, about 3,000 people show up. Kendra's good with money. Kendra's good. We our point systems. We get free jump from points. We don't have to be rich, wealthy. All we have to do is do those things. Why? That makes us great. Mm-hmm. All the credit cards. I look at what credit card do I use? Use this credit card for this. Why? We now got a free trip to wherever because we got point. Why? Because stop trying to be a sex partner and start being an asset to his task. Yes. And he does not get that until he commits to you. When you are a part of the task.
Or until he does, he pays for it.
He pays for it. Now, be nice. You can kind of hook him up instead of charging the $5,000. You can charge the $500.
You can show off your skill. Right. But anything worth paying for, make him pay.
Anything worth having. All right. Worth
so last question, and then we are out of here, guys.
Oh no, we have about 5 more minutes.
What are the major questions that I should ask a man right off?
Where are you going? How are you going to get there? And how do I fit into the process?
That's great.
Where are you going? How are you going to get there? And how do I fit into the process? Why we here is a cool one. Where are you going? How are you going to get there? And how do I fit into the process? Right. If a man does not have a task and he does not have a purpose, lady, he cannot handle you and a purpose. Right. He just can't. Because one will outweigh the other. Right. My wife asked me.
And what's going to happen? You are going to be looking for your man to be on point, on task, and then when you start asking him about doing something, anything, that's our favorite line. Can you do something? Do anything? No. If you figure out what he's supposed to be doing, then you can keep pushing and directing and driving him to do what he said he was going to do.
Love it. Mm-hmm. Love it. We'll be back here next Sunday. No, when are we going out of town?
The 18th.
Okay. Pick a day. Next Sunday? Next Sunday night?
Sure.
We're going to be here next Sunday night. We're going to do this again. I'll have this fixed so we can actually look at the questions on the screen on instead of having a phone around. Yeah. We have questions. Was that the last question?
That was it.
When bring knowledge to today? Absolutely. Okay. Make sure those of you that are not on YouTube, go to YouTube and make sure you subscribe, and that then the algorithm will tell you that we're on. So make sure you subscribe.
Send you a reminder.
And be a part of it. Make sure you get your questions to us. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us on YouTube, and we'll bring information. We do conferences and books and all this stuff. We do this all the time. because
And we'll put some information down here at the bottom of how you can get in touch with us and so forth.
Thank you very much.
We're in Eastern time zone.
What's today? Next Sunday. Somebody was that next
Yeah.
Sunday?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll be back next Sunday, same time, 8 o'clock next Sunday.
Tell your friends about it, guys, because we can only market at a certain level, but tell your friends about it. Every Sunday we're going to try to, not every Sunday, so don't hold us up. We just, every Sunday we'll tell you when we're going to do it next Sunday, because one day we about to be out.
Yeah.
And we going to be on the beach.
On the beach. And
I
we probably
love
will
you.
do it. We probably will do it for you on the beach.
It's going to be short.
Just to share.
It's going to be short. It's going to be like, hey, you got a question? Talk to you next Sunday, because right now we ain't going to do it. I love you. I love you like a step cousin, but it ain't going to be that. But that is it, my friends.
Thank you guys so much for joining, and we
My
will
wife,
see
you
you
showed
next
up very
time.
well for my wife. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
And this is the first one, and we had a couple of bugs in it, but we are good about that. All right, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys on next Sunday. All right.